what's going on, everyone? It's Dominic, the Primetime Treasure Hunter. Thanks for coming by to check out another video. I am heading off to the post office right now to drop this off. This is a box that is filled with 24 Godzilla comic books from the 1970s. I sourced them for $3.60 because I got them for 15 cents a piece from a bulk lot purchase, and sold them yesterday for $265. So I'm really excited to get these out. I don't like leaving these on the porch for pickup because, you know, someone just comes by and swipe it. Even though I haven't had that happen before, then that's obviously a big problem for this one single item. So I like to take items like this in individually, and then we're gonna go out and see if we can find some treasures along the way. So let's get to it. Okay, here we are at our first sale, and good thing that I like about it is a nice old house outside, and looks like it's filled with lots of stuff inside. And right there you could see a Bud Light sign, so who knows what's around that corner. Hopefully some treasures. Looks like they're just starting to lay stuff out here. Oh, good. A lot more stuff over there. Okay, so $1 each for the hardcover Wimpy Kid books. That's definitely a good pickup. So we'll get those. I've talked about those before. Pick them up like this and sell them in lots. Okay, well, unfortunately that guy had a lot of stuff out there that had been rained on. He must have set up early this morning and just got caught in a downpour. Fortunately, these two I was able to pick out of the garage. And I know you've seen these before if you've been watching my haul videos, but the point I want to make about these, even if you've seen them before, is that you have to think long term. So if you just saw one of these books at a sale, you might say, man, I'm not going to pick it up because I can't sell that one. But you won't always find things available in a big lot. Sometimes you'll find a big lot of books, but sometimes you have to build your own lot. And that's what I do. So I have patience over the course of, you know, the summertime. I know I'm going to find a bunch of these at different sales, and I just accumulate them. And then once they get to a certain point, I put them up as a lot and sell them. So remember, little tip, think long term. Off to the next sale. Now, in case Jessie Shops is watching this, and you should follow her on Instagram, jessie.shops. This is a little store here in town that I thought you'd get a kick out of, so just wanted to give you a shout out. Jessie Cakes, if you ever get into cake making, here's an idea for you. All right, well, unlike the last person, looks like this one was prepared with a tent all morning so nothing got wet. So that's a good sign. Hopefully there's some good things in that tent. And there's a surprise sale across the way too, so that's good. What kind of dog did you use this dog sweater with on this Christmas
Chocolate
one?
Lab.
Chocolate Lab?
Yeah, there's probably still hair on it.
That's cool. All right. Tools are $1. So the wrenches are $5 for all the wrenches, and what about the hardware?
They're both 5.
They're both 5?
Yep.
Okay, so in the tent, the only thing that I wound up finding was this dog sweater that she had used for Chocolate Lab. It's Christmas themed, obviously. These still do sell now. Christmas stuff does sell all year round. I may hold on to it for a little bit. I have a bunch of clothes to put up anyway, so I'll probably sell a little bit better around Christmas time if I want to hold on to it. But for just $1, I mean, not a big investment, and these things could sell for like 20, 25 bucks, even pre-owned. Then across the street, which I had shown you earlier, there was another sale, lady moving from New York to Florida, and she was just selling all of her husband's tools. And I wound up getting this big lot of wrenches for just $5. This one was included in it as well, which originally was $1 off of that shelf. So like just this one here, this Craftsman wrench, it's a 14-inch one. That one there could sell for like $15 to $20. So that will more than get me my money back. Even though they're heavy, you want to put them in flat rate priority mail envelopes or boxes, and that's how you'll get a good shipping rate out of them. And you know, there were some, you know, big ones here, like this one. It says Utica Steel on it, and so even though they're pre-owned and they have a little bit of damage on it, or Utica Tools, these could sell for, again, for like $20 for like a big wrench like this, even if it has, you know, obvious a sign of wear. that's okay. I mean, there's a lot of socket wrenches and stuff in here. I mean, there's just a whole bunch of it. So, you know, definitely will more than make my $5 investment back and make a nice little profit on those. For ones that I don't think I could sell well individually, I'll just lot them together and sell a big lot of wrenches. And again, even though it's heavy, you know, a lot of these things are, you know, relatively small, and so you could fit them in a nice small box. So if you're not taking advantage of places like Pirate Ship, where you could use cubic rate shipping for small, heavy packages and save a ton of money, you definitely should look into that. Now, it's very interesting that I wound up purchasing a small little lot there of tools, because tools is an area that I've wanted to branch into more this year, in addition to the postcards. And at the end of the day today, in fact, it's actually at night from 6 to 8 p.m., there is going to be an estate sale we're going to head over to, where there's a landscaping and nursery facility building that's gone out of business. And the main thing that they're trying to liquidate there are tools. There's lots of old tools. So I'm excited to see what we could find there. So that's a little bit later on. We've got some more treasures to hunt for before we get over there. So let's get on over to those other sales. So while I was driving around, Mrs. Primetime called me, and she arranged for me to go pick up this D-Man through a Facebook Marketplace deal. Now, this is not something to resell. This is actually something we purchased for my son, Primetime Jr., for his birthday tomorrow. He plays a lot of basketball, so this guy stands up and it simulates someone, you know, playing defense on you while you're shooting. The reason I'm telling you this is that where I had to go to pick this up puts me 5 minutes away from my comic book supplier. So I'm going to go in there and, you know, pick up some things. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to come out with, but I can't take the camera in there because it's a private place, and it doesn't want cameras in there. But I'll show you what I wound up getting once I come out of there. All right, so I did not wind up getting anything fun and exciting, but the reality of it is, if you want to deal in comic books, you need to be able to have a way to protect the comic books from damage, not only while you're storing them, but also when you ship them. So you need the bags and the boards, and this is what they all look like. These are the boards. They come in stacks of 100. I highly recommend the brand BCW, and these are the bags right here. So you see they match up. That's the smallest size, current. Then the next biggest size would be silver right here. Then these are the golden age ones right there. And then you've got your magazine ones, which I use for comic books and also magazines as well. And then a short box and a long box for some storage. Now, I'm going to tell you in a moment why I did not buy any comic books when I went in there. So the place that I just went into is a place where I have gotten great comic book deals for the longest time. In addition to a lot of other collectibles, I've referred to it in the past as a honey hole place for me. And over the last few months, things have started to change in there. I still will get some wholesale deals, like for example, the two boxes that you saw me get and the bags and the boards. That normally would be full retail price, about $120. I wound up getting all of it for $81. So that's good. You know, that helps me keep my costs low, and I will continue to go there for that. But in terms of buying out collections, what has happened is that he has just increased the rates for the collections and for the books to full retail price. It's basically impossible for me to go in there anymore and get things like I used to. And I told him that today. I said, you know, I'm not going to be able to come in here anymore and purchase collections because there's just no meat on the bone for me in terms of, you know, me being able to sell. Now, you might think, well, why would this person want to sell something to you that he could go sell himself? Well, the reason why he used to do that is because he had so much overfill and overstock and just so much stuff he couldn't get to that he was just kind of letting it go. Well, he started organizing things a lot more, so it's nice and neat, and it's you know, it's more systematic the way he has his inventory, and so you can't just go in there really anymore and kind of pick and pull. So, you know, he did tell me if he gets anything that he feels he could sell in bulk in the future that he just wants to get rid of and doesn't want to keep, you know, he'll let me know about it. But for now, you know, the relationship is certainly changing. Don't get me wrong. I still really like the guy and, you know, we'll always be friends and stuff like that. But it's just a lesson that, you know, you have to strike when the iron's hot. Now, I knew that. I have been going for years and getting incredible, amazing deals. But I always told myself, you never know when this is going to end. It could end next month. It could end 2 months from now. The person's, you know, business could shut down. They could wind up moving. They could get sick. You just never know. So take advantage of the opportunities when you can and be willing to adjust over time as situations change. So now, for example, you know, I have plenty of comic books. That's not the issue. It's not that I need more comics, but I am, you know, more cognizant of the fact that now, you know, I'm going to have to branch out even more and more and more and coming up with different avenues in the future if I want to obtain collections for the bulk rate prices that I like to get them at. So just a little tip, you know, a little, you know, inside information there for people who maybe are starting out, just getting new and forming these relationships with people in their community. Things change. Okay, everyone, let's turn things around with an estate sale. Looks like a nice older house. Hopefully there's some goodies inside of there. Let's see if we could pick out any treasures. I'm curious how much all these staples would be.
Okay, here's my husband comes back.
I don't know how much is it.
Okay,
I got
it's there. How much would all of them be together?
All
Just like
those?
a big bulk purchase of them. Any idea how much you'd want for all those staples there?
$3.
How about $5 for all?
$5 for all of them? All right, that's a good deal. Thank you.
I like the sale, and I've never had one before, so we'll see.
They're 50 cents a piece?
yeah.
Okay.
You okay?
Always pick up envelopes like this when you could find them. Do not pass up on these Polaroids. Very good pickups if you could get them. $5. So there's a lot of men's clothes in here. The problem is it's almost all nondescript and not name brand. This is one exception. So Kentucky, for Kentucky Wildcats, great basketball team, nice vintage look to it, vintage piece. Don't worry about these strings, you just cut them off. So this would be a good, definitely a good pickup. Okay, so let me go over the items and what I got them for. This is the Kentucky Zip Up, got it for $2. We'll hope to get somewhere between 20 and 30 out of it. As I said earlier, just tons of Kentucky fans around because of the success of the basketball team. Lots of people love to represent Kentucky, and you know, with this being somewhat vintage, it's from the early 90s. There's not going to be many of these around, so people will want to get this. So looking forward to putting that one up. These envelopes, they just throw in for free, so it's just a way to pick up free supplies because, you know, supplies do add up. The Polaroid, a lot of people miss these Polaroids because they think that they are obsolete technology, and in a sense it is, but there's a reason why people still want to get these and will pay up for them. The reason is because a lot of people don't want a digital trace of what it is that they took a picture of, and this is one way around it. You just take the Polaroid and you've got an instant picture. So you'll see them underpriced at estate sales all the time, $5 because the estate sale dealers don't think they're worth anything. But this model could go anywhere between $50 and $100. So it's definitely a good pickup if you could find these types of items. Okay, so this is the anagrams game that I showed you earlier. This has these vintage letters inside that you would use to make words, and you play this game with it. It's got the instructions right inside the lid. Would hope to get around $25 out of it. They wanted $7. I wound up paying $5 for it. Now that might seem like a little steep because there's not a huge profit to be made off of it, but I'll explain why I did that in just a moment. But before I do, I want to show you this item here and point out something very important about certain VHS tapes, especially horror. I always tell you to look for horror VHS. They don't always sell, but certain ones will that didn't have a DVD release, or ones that came in what's called a clamshell case. And that's what this is right here. You can see how it is just completely sealed around like a clamshell would be. It's got those smooth corners. This makes it more valuable than the regular version of this, which just comes in your standard cardboard casing. So this one will sell somewhere between $15 and $20, specifically because it has the clamshell casing. So always be on the lookout for the clamshell cases, and you actually want to use that term in your title and in your description. So for 50 cents, you know, goes out media mail. It's no brainer to pick that one up. But this is definitely the score of the day. Now you have to keep in mind that that sale was going on for a while, so there were likely other things that were good that were scooped up. So you've got to keep your eyes peeled for things that people miss, and sometimes it's items that would look boring, but just look up what one pack of 1/4, or you could do the 5/16, what the 5/16 wide crown staples go for. Some of them go for as high as $10 per pack. So I got all of these, and these are double layered. So like down here, there's like another layer underneath. So there's tons of these. So at, you know, let's even say $5 per pack. These things sell. Look them up. 1/4 and 5/16. Look at the completed solds on them. They do sell. Now, not this exact brand. People don't exactly have this one up, but it doesn't matter. They're staples, and for, you know, staples that people are going to use now, not vintage ones, people don't really care about the brand that much. So especially if I list them up in bulk. So I could sell these like at a case at a time, or I could sell all of the 5/16 at once and all of the 1/14, and who knows how much I can make off this, but I guarantee it's going to be a heck of a lot more than $5. So, you know, look for those types of things. Well, I always say, look inside the garages, look for things that, you know, other people might pass because they think of it as boring, and don't be scared to ask how much for everything. Did you think he was going to say $5? I didn't. He shocked me when he said $5, but, you know, whatever, that's what he wanted for it, and this is how you make money. You gotta buy things in bulk like this. It is a key way to be successful as a reseller. Okay, and as you can see here, the total price for everything in that box, $15. Pretty good deal if you ask me. Now this sale over here I had to stop off at because it is described in the classified section as two wives who are selling off stuff from their husbands who are hoarders. So I think there's a few people who watch my channel whose husbands might fit into that category, right? So we'll go over, check it out, see if there's anything there. Okay, so this turned out to be an incredible deal. I wound up getting these 5 bundles of golf clubs for $2 a piece. You can see right here, $2 for each one. I don't normally sell golf clubs. In fact, I've never sold them before, but I'm gonna put these on OfferUp and we'll see how we do with them. I'll show you some things about them and about the condition in just a moment. So all of the clubs are wood. They're all used. They have different names on the sides of them and also on the bottoms of them. They are really cool vintage pieces. They have, a lot of them have rust here, but it's surface rust. So like I could even just take my fingernail and I could rub like a piece of the rust off like that, and you'll see it'll go away. So these just need like a rub down to get the rust off, and it'll make them look a lot better, a lot more presentable. It's really just a surface speckling of rust there. Like you could see right here, you know, it just rubs off with my fingernail. So I'm just gonna find a way to just clean this off. Now, some of them do not have grips on the top of them, but the majority of them do. I saw a couple of them that had cracks on the bottom, so some of them I'll have to discard. But the vast majority of them look good. If you know more about golf than I do, and I don't know too much about them, let me know what you think in terms of putting them up on local marketplace like Facebook Marketplace or OfferUp, Let Go, something like that. I'm not going to ship these out. They're just too long and bulky and heavy, but it's a perfect type of thing for a local marketplace and a nice additional example of bulk purchasing for, you know, a low amount of money. All right, well, I am here at this landscape place and nursery. You can see there's already a bunch of people waiting outside. Looks like a pretty big structure there, so waiting for the estate sale dealer to come here, and I'll talk to you about what I'm going to be looking for in just a moment. Okay, so my goal in there is not only to look for tools, but to also look for vintage, new, old stock merchandise that could be on the shelves. So let's go in there and see if we can find any of that stuff. Look familiar?
That's what they go for.
All right, so I'm out of there, and even though I didn't get any tools, I am still very, very happy because I wound up getting a lot of new old stock stuff. At first, I thought all I was going to be able to get were these little boxes of staples, But turns out that I was saved by looking under my feet, and that's when I found that box that I had brought up on top of the table I was showing towards the end with all these, you know, pieces, some of them big, some of them small. I mean, there were, you know, big ones like this that were great. There's not an exact comp for every one of them, but you know, something like this sells for like 40 to 50 bucks. Mopar is a big name that you want to be on the lookout for if you're brand new, so it's associated with Chrysler. Make sure you put that down. Napa Auto Parts, especially these old ones that are hard to find, like this one here. It's a wheel cylinder kit. You know, things similar to it, even though you might not find the exact one. These things, a lot of these things sell for like 20, 30, 40, sometimes 50 bucks a piece. And I've got a whole entire box filled with this stuff. It's crazy. When I went up towards the end, you know, this estate sale dealer knows me very well for going to a lot of her sales, and you'll notice that the stuff that I wound up getting was all unmarked. I've told you before, it's a strategy of mine to get a good deal towards the end. I stayed away from the marked stuff. Remember at the beginning I showed you that wrench, that 14-inch wrench? She wanted $12 on it. I heard people complaining and grumbling the entire sale about the prices. So you've got to look beyond that and find the stuff that has been marked. Because a place like that, that's that big, there's no way the estate sale dealer could get in there and mark every single item. So you got to find the stuff that's overlooked. And that's a perfect example. I brought that whole box up to her and she asked me how much I wanted to pay for everything. She let me name the price. Now I was going to stay away from things like, you know, wrenches for $12 that I could get and did get for $1 at the beginning of the day. So that's why I stayed away from the tools. Every single tool that was priced, you know, had a high price on it. So that's why I stayed away. But this stuff, she asked me how much I wanted to pay for it. So I gave her a number of 25 because I was willing to go up as much as 50. So I figured what my upper level was, and I just halved it to start the negotiation. And she just said, fine. So, you know, I always tell you, you know, try to find that you could give a price for something that you think you could get back with one item. And so this item alone, this one right here, this one is, like I said, a $40 piece minimum. So I should get my money back and then some with just this one item for what I paid for everything. So you could see, once again, it's bulk, bulk, bulk. Other sales, you know, you could pick up some isolated things like the dog sweater and stuff like that. Those things are great. You can find those pieces. But again, buying in bulk is absolutely essential if you really, really want to grow your reselling business out beyond hobby stages. So that's it for today. It's late. It's like 7 o'clock at night, and I've got a 35-minute drive home. I usually don't drive out this far, but this was a unique type of sale, and that's why I like estate sales. It takes you to all sorts of unique places, nurseries, mansions, you know, shacks. I mean, you never know what you're going to wind up in. So I got a lot of stuff to do, and I've got to get this video edited so I can get it posted for everybody. So with that, I'm gonna say goodbye for tonight. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I've got a big estate sale coming up on Sunday, so I'm really looking forward to that. I haven't decided yet what I'm gonna do for tomorrow, for Saturday, so we'll see. Anyway, a couple just brief things. Make sure before you go, if you're not a member of the Facebook group, we're almost at 10,000 members. We're 33 away. So make sure that if you're not a member of that, it's free and easy to join. Just go down below in the description section there, and you could easily sign up there at Facebook Reselling Resource Center. Make sure you subscribe to this channel if you're not subscribed, and also make sure you follow me on Instagram. That's at @prime_time_treasure. I'll see you back at the next video, everyone. Take care.